Good evening, good evening. Thank you for joining us this evening. I'm so grateful. My name is Pastor Sam Kamau KBN. I'm so grateful for each and every person who is watching us. You're most welcome. I don't know where you're watching from, but what I know, you're watching from somewhere. And I take this opportunity to invite you, to welcome you to the Financial Wellness. This is a program that we speak more about the finances. Not only we look at from the point of that pointing where you receive the finances, and you receive the finances. Then from the finances, you are able to manage that finances. Then after managing that finances, what next? The saving, and then from there, investment. So those are some of the areas that I always come here to teach you more. And I know that thousands and thousands of the people, they are working somewhere simply because they want to make money or to make the wealth in this life. Nobody does not work to make the wealth. And that's a reason I've come here, so that I can be able to teach. I'm just connecting my laptop, inviting the people. And so that's not good. That's so good. I believe you can be able to see me where you are. Let me just share. Let me just do the sharing to invite many people to our program today. Let me invite so many people. So wherever you are watching me from, I want you to do me only one favor only, to invite many people to this program. I want you to help me by inviting so many people to this program. I just want you to help me by that favor of inviting so many people to this program. And I will start with my good people on the WhatsApp. Let me start with my good people in my groups of the WhatsApp, where I have so many groups where I always post more about the financial matters. And this is the place that I will start by inviting them. So let me go to my WhatsApp. This is the first group. This is called the KBN online family. So for those who join me from the online and they feel that they want to become the family where we can work together, this is where I add them. Today's topic, the financial due diligence. So that's a topic, the financial due diligence. So due diligence, please join live streaming. Live streaming now. So that's what I'm doing first, to invite the many people. So let me invite in all my groups so that the people can join. It's wonderful. So all these groups, I'm going to invite them. There is the groups that I always share. Yes, these are the groups that not that one, this one. I always share. I invite the people, these groups. Let me invite them, and so that they can come. So if you have any question regarding the finance, please forward it here. Please, there on the comment, I want the question to come so that I can be able to answer all those questions. So wherever you are watching, wherever you are doing, and you have any question regarding the finances, please send it. I can see the people have started joining. When you join, please comment so that I can appreciate you and I can acknowledge you. Please, when you join, let me know so that I can appreciate you. So I go to the business. You should not suffer financially. Well, Pastor Sam Kamau is here, who can teach you, who can make you a millionaire. Why not? We're here to make the wealth. We're here to make money. God has given us the grace. God has given us the wisdom, the understanding, and therefore we are here to teach you to convert that money that you have, that money that you have deposited in the bank account. We can convert it to a greater wealth, and that's the reason I've come here, so that I can teach you on how to convert that wealth. I know today I posted a question: where should you invest? Is it in MMF? MMF means money market fund, or in a fixed account, or Nairobi Stock Exchange, or in government boards. I'm here to make sure that you understand all of them. Where should you invest? And then I posted another question. I asked the people, where should you invest? Is it in real estate? That is in the land. You go and you buy the land, and then you do either the agribusiness, or you build, or should you go and invest in the Nairobi Stock Exchange, that is shares, or in the government board? Let's say, for example, you have like 1 million. Where should you invest first? I always find many people investing. Let me finish sharing, then this one I can. Business group. Let me share in the business group. Business group. That's a business group. And I've not checked the full. Thank you. So let me share in other groups. Welcome. Whenever you join, please share, please comment, so that I can acknowledge you, I can appreciate you. We are almost starting. We are almost having a very vibrant discussion here about the finances. We wake up every morning to go and look for the money, and then from the money, what we said the last time, there is the difference between the people who pursue the money and the rich people that want to make the wealth. And that's the reason we are gathered here, to just, let me share in the teachers group. Teachers, they are my good friends. I always have many teachers who give me the opportunities to go and talk to the cashiers, to their team buildings, to so many. So the last group to share is Nakuru groups. Nakuru groups, because that's where I belong. Although we don't have an airport, this is where I live. We don't have the airport. We don't have even the modern traffic lights. This is where we are. Thank you. I'm done with that one now. So now, can we talk now? So welcome. Now we can be able to talk, and I can be able to share, to talk much from that point. So now I'm set. I'm ready to speak to you. Now, post all your questions there. I'll be here to be answering all your questions. So let's start. When we come to the matters of the investment, there are 7 classifications of the financial investment. There are 7 classifications of the financial investment. And whenever you are doing an investment, there is one question that is very, very important. What we call the due diligence. Most of the people, they invest before they have done the due diligence. And that's why we have so many people, their money has been lost, simply because there was no due diligence. So today I want to teach you more about the due diligence. And that's why I've said there are 7 classifications of the financial investment. The first category is what we call cash liquidity and money equivalent investment. It is where we invest in form of cash, and this is the money investment. And whenever we talk about the money investment, it is where, for example, a place like money market fund. The money market fund is a good short term. I always advise the people, and I always tell the people, the money market fund, it is best suited for anyone who is saving for, let's say, for example, for school fees, because it's a short term. And therefore, the return on the investment on the money market fund is very little. They start from 6%. The highest that I've seen is 12%. That's the highest that I've seen, including the one for the CD market, which is 6.5. I don't know what. The last time I checked, they had increased to 7.1. It is the one of the lowest. So you can just imagine 7.1 out of 7.1 out of 100. So, in other words, is to say, you invest 100,000 in a money market, you are supposed to earn 7,100 in a year, because it's per annum, although they calculate daily. And therefore, every day, as long as 24 hours, you get your money the following day has increased and is growing. So, the reason why we call it the cash liquidity, because it's accessible. It's very, very accessible. So that's number one. Number two, on the money market investment, it is the fixed account, fixed deposit account. It is where you invest and then you get your money after 6 months, after 1 year, which was in the old ways in the bank. It was there in the old way in the bank. But let's come now to this one. Fixed income investment. Fixed income investment, it is divided into 3 or 4. It is divided. Remember, I'm a financial trainer and I always train to the corporate, to the institutions, and therefore, when you hear me speaking all this, it is simply because this is what I do every day. I teach in terms of the, this is the training, not the coaching. When we talk about the coaching is more about where you are coached on how you are specific, but you go and you are being told, go and invest in the stock exchange. Right now they have increased. Another one comes and tells you now the BAT is good, although it's going down. Another one. But when we come to the financial trainer, we give you a whole sum. Let me remind myself. One day I was in the class of pharmaceutical, and I have done medicine myself. And being a person from a pharmaceutical industry, I remember we started by the human anatomy, then we came to the therapeutics. That is how the drugs is prepared and is manufactured until there is a dispensation. So now that wholesome knowledge, it is what we are saying when we come to the financial investment, and you are doing your due diligence. You require all the information, not a limited information. And therefore, when we are talking about the fixed income, FIA, this is number one, we have the government boards. Then we have the treasury boards. Then we have the corporate boards. And those are corporate, and then it is the same price that we have in a lobby stock exchange. This is these ones, they are low risk, although very Nairobi Stock Exchange is not there, although they have a very high not very high, they have a very better returns. Let me repeat myself. When we talk about the fixed income investment, and we have divided them into 3 or 4, and we have said there is the government boards. There is, which most people used to call them infrastructures. Then we have the treasury boards, the short-term ones. I can see people there, thank you. And then we have corporate boards. And then the corporate boards, the difference between the corporate boards and the government boards, the corporate boards, these are companies that won't raise the money, but already in stock exchange, and therefore they cannot go there to raise more money, but for their expansion and their growth. What do? They release a board. A board is where a company or a government releases a board. I call it releasing a board, and then it says that the government want to have a certain income or a company, and then it says, let's go and borrow money domestically, and then we have a signed agreement. And when we have a signed agreement, after 6 months, this is what you'll be getting, and then after another 6 months, this is what you'll be getting. I have seen most of them, they start nowadays with 50,000. With the 50,000, you can start, and you can have a predictable income, love, 6 months, and after 6 months, you'll be having an income. It is called the government. So my question always to the people who are going for the retirement, I always look at their transition from the employment. They are used to a certain package of salary of every month. And you find most of them, they always tell you they have a little estate. They have built some houses, rental houses. But you look at those rental houses, sometimes they are not guaranteed. And then from there, they want to go and do the agribusiness. They want to go and do the farming, which they have not done for many years. And now they still want to live with the same kind of a life. You find them, this was a principle, and this principle that was living a comfortable life, because there was a flow of income. There was a constant income that was guaranteed. And now they are going for the retirement. So what is the easiest way? The easiest way, it is where you can invest on the government board. And now I can teach you on how to invest that 1 million, 2 million, 5 million. And then we subdivide it accordingly to 6 months, so that you can be guaranteed for the next either 15 or 20 years or 30 years, you have an income that you be getting. I got this case of a certain person who saw me still teaching more about this kind of the government boards and the stock exchange. And then he was asking me, Pastor, please tell me, where should I invest? This is a person who had gotten an accident and was being paid by the insurance 2.4. And then he came to me and he is asking me, actually it was 2.5, because 2.4 is what we subdivided it to 6 months. And then that was 600,000 for the next, for the 6 months. And then from there, remember, when he is being paid twice in a year, then you'll be getting an income constant every month. And therefore, that man or that family, today they are very happy for the advice that I gave them, because they thought I could have told them to go for the stock exchange. Stock exchange is, we normally call it the equity investment. The equity investment, it is the listed company shares in a lobby stock exchange. They are very, very good. But remember, they are higher risk. They are higher risk and they are not predictable. Let me compare them between stock exchange and the boards. The boards are predictable. Stock exchange is not predictable. Although the stock exchange has a high income, it has a high return compared with government boards, because government boards, whatever you agree as you enter into the contract, it will remain constant. All that, if it's 15 years, it will be like that. If it's 30 years, it will be like that. But let's look at somebody who invested on the stock exchange, and he invested in something like a stock exchange. Let's say, for example, Equity Bank. I remember the Equity Bank, the first time it was listed, and it was allowed 51 there, and then it grew to 90, and then to 300, and then from there it was split into two, and all of that. I remember one the man I saw the other time, his father bought the shares of the Equity, and then the man, when he is old, that's what he left to his family, and that family, in the value of the shares, they were making 9 billion. But this family decided to sell, and when they sold these shares, and then they went to the real estate because they felt it is more safe and whatever. And then later this year, I saw them in the newspaper, and they were being told that the value, if it's today they are selling, they could have made it 22 billion. This is a man who was just trying in life, but he committed himself to buy the shares. So the shares gradually and increased, although we needed to understand what kind of the shares and when do you need to buy these kinds of the shares. When we are buying the shares, there are two things that are due diligence, which is very, very important to understand. And this is one of the things that is very, very important to understand. What we call the bear market, the bull market, and the bear market. That's what makes the difference. I know some people will always come and tell us, you need to do the valuation of the company, you need to know the dividend. Before you know the dividend of a company, what drives the stocks is what these two, the bear and the bull market. These are the two major factors of the influence, that they will always influence the market in a lobby stock exchange. And until you understand them, then you live asking, which one shall I buy? Until you understand the bull market and the bear market. This is something that was started many years, and is the factor that helps the people to understand the timing on when to buy. When we talk about the bull, this is a metaphor language, those who remember the literature. And the bull, it is when the bull, and then I want to use a good one about the bull. It means when the bull is attacking, it attacks by thrusting its horn to the air upwards. And that means it is when the price in the market, the price is high. But the bear, it is swipes. It is when the price are down. And therefore, let me give you a very good example. Right now, BAT, the shares, after they have announced their dividends, and it is doing very well. BAT is doing very well. But what is the price of the happening to the price of the BAT? They are going down. What is happening? The foreigners, they are selling their shares, and therefore they are coming down. So we can say the BAT right now, it is on the bear market because they are going down. But what about the family bank? The last time I checked, when they listed, no, let me not use the family. I use the Safaricom. Let me use the Safaricom. The Safaricom, when it was agreed that it is going to be sold, it was trading at around 31, and now it is moving to 34, and I sold to 36. What does that tell us? So I know most of the people, when they are making the decision on which to buy, they will consider to go to Safaricom and buy for Safaricom because it is going up. It is on the bull market. But the BAT, it is on the bear market. And these are the factors that helps to understand and to know what kind of a shares should I buy. And let me ask you, by the way, this simple question. Why do we go to buy the shares? Because many people go to buy the shares. But why? What are the benefits of investing in the shares instead of a side hustle? Why not to invest on a side hustle? That you start a small business somewhere, you go and wherever, and you put that table somewhere and you start selling the phones, yet you are employed. Why? There are the factors which they are very, very important. I always tell the people, when you want to invest, there are 3 ways that you can do the investment. 3 ways that you can do the investment. Number 1 is what we call the startup. You start a business from a scratch. That's number 1. Number 2, it is where you look for a strategic partner. So, and I see many rich people, and especially the politicians, you will always find them. They have the petrol station, but they don't have their names. Or a supermarket, but they don't have their names. You'll find them, and this is Toto. But when you do the background check, you find it's for a certain politician. But what do they do? But they use that name because they are looking for a strategic partner. So when we are going for a shares, it's simply because we want to have a strategic partner, either in we become the shareholders in the BAT. Because the BAT will do the business and you are not involved anywhere, and you get your money. At the end of the year, you get your dividend. Like now the BAT, it gives very good dividend. What is the purpose of the investment? What is the purpose of a business? It is to make the profit. It is where you make the profit, and then as much you use the capitalization, where you can make a lot of money in an easy way with a lesser cost, the better for you. Where you can invest and you are not, the risk is less, the better for you. Why to invest? And you have the risk is very high. So let's say, for example, you start up business. You have to pay the county government, the premises. You have to pay or let's say, for example, a business for the water feeders. I did my research to understand why the water feeders they are being open all over. You know, it's a business that you can start, which is a very good startup business. Let me give you the figures about it. They buy the water. You get the license. All the license, the total is 300,000 for the approval. Number 2, that you buy the tank and the premises and everything. And then from there, what next? The next thing is that you buy the water. The water they buy 1.5. That is 1.5 shilling per liter, and then they sell at 10 shilling per liter. So if you buy 5,000 liters, which is the minimum, that is to say is 50,000 the turnover, and what is the profit is 42,500 after you reduce the buying cost. And then from there you now you subtract other costs, the expenses, the house rent, the worker, and everything. You'll find you have like 20,000. But now, if I find someone who is doing the feeder and then the water feeder, and we become a strategic partner, and he is the one that's doing, at the end of the month, he can be, when he has made 20,000, then he can be giving my shares, yet me, I'm still employed, yet me, I'm still working somewhere, which is much more better. So then when we are talking about the strategic partner in stock exchange, is that you may own those big companies. So today we have spoken about the bull market And the bull market, the price goes over for a long time, and they are able to be sustained. People feel good. But remember, for those who are starting to buy, sometimes the bull market is not the best, but the bear is the best. It's the best time when to buy, because they are it is for a short time. That season is only for a short time, and it scares the people and many investors, and they feel this company as if it's not doing well, and therefore it is the best moment to buy. As I finish, I want to say three things why the benefits why we invest in stocks. Number one, for the capital growth. Number one, we want our capital to increase, so we need that capital growth. Number two, we need the dividends. We invest so that we can have the dividends. At the end of the year, we shall get the dividends. And number three, for the protection. We always invest for the protection. And number four, to beat the inflation. And number five, for the compound growth. Our wealth will grow in a compound way. So today we have introduced, and I can see someone who is asking me, how can you know the stock exchange is doing very well? The stock exchange, we always look by what we call the share index. The share index becomes very, very, very important. The share index, whenever you open a paper, whenever you go to Google, the first thing to check is the share index. And you always find that graph. There is that kind of a graph which is there, and it will always show the share index for the general stock exchange. But there is now the stock exchange for the 20 best company. It is always another index that can help you. So now I know you are asking me, how can I invest? You need the CDS account. So just text me there and ask me, Pastor, how can I open the CDS account? I'll take you the process, and I'll help you on how to open the CDS account and then the next process. So today we want to stop at that. And I want to ask anyone with a question that we need to answer today. Next week, today we have introduced about the stock exchange, and we have just looked only one factor. Next week, I shall be talking something which is coming to the market of Kenya, where we will not be thinking on which company to invest, which is called the Wall of the Street, the Wall of Street. Let me get the the Wall of Street, the Wall Street. I'm getting the name. Let me get the exact name, what we are calling. That's what will be coming to our nation, to Nairobi Stock Exchange. Now you'll not be thinking so much which company to invest. You're asking, you are looking for all those things. So I'm saying, but from next week, October, we'll be having something we are calling. Let me get the exact name. Yes, it's called Wall Street Africa. Wall Street Africa, where the best 11 bank accounts will be grouped together, which we are calling the ETF, and it's where we'll be investing. Let's meet on next week as I talk more about Wall Street of Africa. So you are there, just comment and tell me, Pastor, I want to join your classes. Pastor, I want to be to work together with you. I have my WhatsApp number there. That number that you see, which is written for the community inquiring, it's a number that you will WhatsApp me with, and I'll come and we'll have a discussion with you. I work together with you, and I'll help you on how to do the investment. Yes, the number is there, 0759 009750. So the number is there. Please come and WhatsApp me. I'll come back to you, and we'll work together with you in this journey. I'll train you. You have a company. You have an institution, you have a chama, That's Chama Mary Go Loud. You can just invite me. I'll come and teach you everything in details, and I'll train all these things in a very simple way, and I'll help you on how to make the right decision and to invest that money that you always save, and then that money I can help you where you can invest and it can be generating some income. I'm here to teach you. I'm here to guide you. Please invite me. I'll WhatsApp me and write to me. I'll come back to you. God bless you. God do you well. See you on Tuesday next week for the financial wellness.